The glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear Gaming Monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Justice. Let the glorious battle begin.
Hello, guys, and welcome to the South Asia Championship League powered by LG UltraGear. My name is Apollonia, and co-casting with me is Obi. Today we have NAD5 versus Elixir, the second semi-finals. This will be the best of three, and this is the first game. So, how you feeling, Obi? It was a very exhilarating first semi-finals that we watched.
It was a really good. It was a really good first semi-finals game today, and even though it was really unfortunate for Demos Force in Game One, they bounced back and they bounced back really strong, finally beating Exulances in a best of three to go to the finals. And at this point, I can safely say, with the current lineup, Demos Force looks like the strongest team in this region right now. But that game's done, and it's time to focus on the semi-final number two. Sri Lanka seed one against the All India seed one team, and we have Senna, Irelia, and Yaso being banned out. Definitely respecting those bans against bot lane, since Hammy plays a mean Yaso, mean Irelia, and Kaka is known to play a mean Irelia as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see an Aphelios J4 and Brom being banned out. Pretty targeted bans, and Aphelios in general is such a nuisance. You can't allow him to be in the game, so him being banned out is not much of a surprise to me, honestly.
Yes, and we see the Syndra first pick coming out from NAD5. Yes, and they are from Sri Lanka. So it looks like they are prioritizing this Syndra. They like it. I'm not too sure about what their meta is, but usually when I do spectate NAD5, it's very interesting. They have their own little style going on. We did see in the first semis that there were a lot of very unorthodox picks, and I think we could expect that here too, hopefully. And that's a Wukong Ezreal. Now, right off the bat, Syndra, Wukong, Ezreal, great composition. There is the poke, there is the range, there's the DPS, there is the CC as well. And looking at the side of Elixir, they also have very good first three picks. That's the Talia. Kaka is very comfortable on that pick. Pantheon and On. Now, On is a great pick for 5v5 because, he gets to upgrade his teammates' items. He can upgrade his own. He has a ton of CC. Just overall, a really good pickup. They did ban Brom as well. So that's nice. They did Brom can't stop that on ultimate, and it is very annoying to deal with. So it looks like Elixir knows what they want. They know what they want to ban, followed by a Trundle and Mordekaiser ban. They don't want that in the jungle. They don't want that at the top. They have no idea where Wukong is going because Wukong could be a jungler, could be a top laner. Although I do prefer him in the top lane. And we see a Pike being banned out, which is fair. Hemi, I believe, is the support, which is Kaka by fans on the side of Elixir. Does play a lot of Pike, and that is an Elise. Elise is a comfort pick for Black Infinity, if I'm not wrong. So these are good targeted bans. Both teams have done their homework, and now we're in the second pick phase.
That's a Yumi being logged in on the side of um Elixir Gaming, and I just predict things to go fancy the moment I see a Yumi. Like we might see a melee champ coming in from the side of Elixir Gaming. And on the side of NAD5, we see pretty standard picks coming in. We see Syndra, Wukong, Ezreal set, and a Zac being logged in. So most probably we see a set. Is this a set support? Most probably it's a set support. It's a Syndra mid, a Zac jungle, and a Wukong top. So Ezreal set is a really good lane because they can maintain pressure, they can keep poking, and whenever the pressure is too much, they can just go all in and get a kill. On the other side, you have Kaka, who's so comfortable on his Thalia. He's a one-trick Thalia being picked. We have Wayne being picked by Captain Kirk, so that's a hard late game hyper carry coming in. Bishi on that on, and Infi on that jungle Pantheon. So Pantheon definitely brings in a lot of map pressure. Can go from anywhere to anywhere. Kaka on that Talia, insane map pressure with the ulti, can just fly from one lane to another lane. Wayne being supported by that Yumi, and On definitely with a teleport can change a lot of things. So it's protect the Vayne comp and just collapse. I really like the setup coming in from Elixir because you have two champions, which is Pantheon and Talia, who can just be at any lane at any given point, turning the team, uh, turning a 3v4 team fight into a 4v4 team fight or a 5v4 team fight, and playing around their ultis would be really important. On the other side, you have Ezreal, you have Set, you have Wukong, you have Syndra, you have Zac. Zac brings in a lot of map pressure, a lot of it's very annoying to play against the Zac, and then you have a Set. Wonka is playing Set. We will see how this matchup turns out to be. Apo, looking at both lineups, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so let's start with NAD5. Set is a really good support pick. I do like Set. He offers a lot of burst damage, and his shields is just insane. So the composition that NAD5 has, I feel, is very structured. There's a good amount of early game coming out from them. They also have mid game and they do have late game. It's a very standard team composition. It looks like they're playing to their strengths, and I think it's pretty straightforward coming up with this composition. And if you look at Elixir, there is, like you mentioned, a protect the Vayne comp with the Yumi as well. Now, during laning phase, I think they'll have a pretty decent time because they are up against an Ezreal, and that usually is alright. But if Set does want to go ham, they might face a little bit of problems. But knowing Kirk and Hemi in the bot lane, they're really seasoned players. So I'd like to see how NAD5 fares against Elixir's bot lane. Kaka with the Talia, we know what that's made of. For anyone who is new, Kaka loves that Talia pick. He likes the burst and he likes to roam. He likes building that wall, traveling across, and just basically messing up your plans for objectives and team fights. So will Kaka be able to do that? We're going to look forward to it. And Bishi on the on. So Bishi is usually casting with me, but this time I will be casting him. I'm going to pay close attention to that on. But Bishi has been a long time top lane player, and he knows what's up with the on. It is a comfort pick for him. And then that Pantheon on Black Infinity. Now we haven't seen Pantheon jungle yet, so that is one to look for. Do let us know in the comment section who you guys are supporting. What are your any more thoughts on this, Obi?
At this point, I'm really excited to see how NAD5 is going to reply to that Talia and Pantheon. Since they have mad roam potential, they can just be at any lane. They can just ulti in and turn team fight. So I want to see how they react to it. Are they playing around the ultimates? Do they group up? Because on paper they both look like a team fighting comp, except if it goes super late, you have a Vayne against you, you can't do much. And Ezreal against the Vayne late game doesn't work well. When the Vayne is fed, she will 1v5 no matter what. So NAD5's hope is kinda to finish it early on, because Syndra, the later it goes, Kid Syndra has early to mid game spike. Late game, I don't feel Syndra has that enough burst. Same with Wukong. So NAD5 kinda need to finish it as early as possible, because the later this game goes, the stronger Elixir gets. And with that, we are going into the game, and let's look at masteries. Do you notice something out of the blue, something unusual pop up? Uh, Apollonia.
All right, guys. So do remember you are watching the South Asia Champions League, and we are out of spectators delay. We are going into the loading screen now, looking at summoner spells and rune and sorry, keystones. All looks pretty standard. Yeah, that's very, very standard. Oh, Yumi with the Comet though. I think that's a very aggressive Yumi. This Yumi does not want Aerie for for her Vayne. I think she just wants that extra damage. Maybe it's gonna work in her favor. But it looks pretty balanced. Everything looks to be in place. And I did remember that NAD5 are given tournament accounts for this server. They normally play in EU West, and their accounts used to be named tournament account. It's great that they do have their tags, and it looks beautiful. So all of them are ready. We are now on the rift. I am very excited. This is semis number 2. Demos Force won semis number 1. Now the winners of this best of 3 will face off in the finals that will happen tonight at 9 p.m. So do stick with us, guys, during this quarantine. We're doing good. And of course, the customary pause.
I mean, it's kind of customary because of the battle ping. We know we do get ping problems. Battle ping is kind of the only solution, so it's really good. And yeah, I mean, okay, Set Ezreal versus Vayne Yumi bot. Who do you think has clear priority in this lane?
Ooh! Um, well, looking at that set, right? Phew. Okay, I feel that set sets up good ganks for the bottom lane for that Zac to give great leads for the Ezreal. But knowing Kirk and how he generally plays very safe, like just the farm type, and with that Yumi that can slow a set's engage, if they play that right, it's pretty okay for them. It's just that level 6 I feel is extremely deadly because that Pantheon flying in with the Yumi ulti and the Vayne damage, it's just gonna be nuts. So overall, it does feel that NAD5 has a very comfortable, like a very comfortable and well-rounded team composition. But Elixir, being the number ones for the scene here in India, they can pull out a lot of tricks from out the little bag that they have. And I know that these teams have been training very hard for this tournament. So we will see them put everything on the line.
So as the pause time continues, let's talk about let's talk about as the pause time continues, guys. Let's first address the keystones, and we see Kirk on Hail of Blade. So that is something which Vayne players really like right now. Hail of Blade, since it helps you proc that W really fast, and you can in like do really high burst of damage all of a sudden. With that, you have a Yumi on with Arcane Comet, so she's just gonna poke you, and the moment they find an opening, that Vayne is gonna tumble in, dish out insane amounts of burst damage, and just walk out while you won't be able to do anything. So I really like this bot lane setup coming in. On top of that, you have exhaust on the Vayne, and then you have ignite on that Yumi. So it's really aggressive. They'll see to make a lot of plays. We have a single teleport on the side of Elixir, but it's okay. Kaka and Infinity have almost ultis which are global. They can be anywhere with those ultis. So it's really nice. Meanwhile, on the side of NAD5, we see again one teleport which kind of puts them in a scary place because you have two champions with so much global pressure, and you have only one teleport, and that is on your Wukong. So I'm not really sure if it's kind of ideal. Willy Wonka getting spotted out, they will push him back into the lane, and it's pretty standard starts. Pings being issued out, they'll just place their ward, go back, and reset at this given point. I think a deep ward coming in from Syndra, and Pantheon starts on the top side. Both junglers, in fact, are starting on top side of the jungle, so it looks really nice. And which means this sort of both looking at early bot lane ganks. What are your thoughts on top side jungle stats?
I really like their jungle start. No, it looks like both the junglers want to place a lot of importance into the bot lane, and I think the middle lane. So the priorities are going to come at the bottom side of the map. You have the dragons that spawn really early. There's a Syndra on one side, and a Talia on another. You want to get them rolling so that they're able to roam and push their max potential. But it looks like Kaka is absolutely obliterating Ashe in the middle lane. Kaka very experienced, a very seasoned mid player. So it is expected of him. And as well as carrying the electrocute, that does a lot of damage.
And there's a cute skirmish going on top between Bishi and Zhao Raven, which is kind of nice right now. Like you said, Kaka is so experienced on the Talia. He's played just so many games of the Talia. He knows how to just keep poking you, just keep annoying you, and that electrocute guarantees that when he has poked you down enough, he'll just go all in and kill you. And that is the sort of burst nobody expects from Talia, and that is why Talia is so scary at times in mid lane. It's not an orthodox mid lane pick, but it's something this Kaka plays a lot. And bot. Meanwhile, a gang coming out from Black Infinity, and he just gets the kill. So we are officially on the scoreboard. 1-0 coming up. Bishi trading with Zhao Raven. He will push him back comfortably, and that's a dominant Elixir coming in right from the start.
Oh, that was brilliant. You know, that was the plan from Black Infinity, hence why he started in the top side and then getting that early gank, especially giving Kaka just that little bit of a push. You know, that's what it takes just to get Alexa completely rolling. Now, looking at the items, I also like to point out that the mid laners did start corrupting potion. Now that's when you know things are gonna get real. They really want to get very aggressive up in there, and it's gonna be quite the battle, I feel, on the bot side of the map, as well as, you know, the dragon that is spawning is an Infernal. Now this is gonna be good for both the team compositions. And is that Raven taking way too much damage from Bishi? And is it going to be a case of LXR just beating them with the micro mechanics and laning phase? Because it does seem that the CS scores are definitely in favor of LXR, as well as a tiny bit of a goal lead too.
Ooh, Wonka flashes in. I don't know what he was expecting. Deals up damage, and Kaka, my friends, Hammy will just be able to walk out of it. It was so badly timed. The jungler was nowhere close. Wonka burned his flash really fast, and it was just really badly played on the side of NAD5. I don't know what they were planning, but it wasn't well executed. And as for top, Bishi is having a field day at top, since a Wukong can't do much against an On, and On is just a beefy unit. If you E in, he's going to stand W and deal a lot of damage. Meanwhile, NAD5 Noob Alliance has started on that Infernal Drake. There's no vision on that Infernal Drake, and they will be able to take it pretty clean. Ash trying to rotate, and it won't work out. Ooh, Kirk coming in, pretty heavy. There's a fight going in. Wonka will be caught, and this will be the end of Wonka. Flash is being burned by Ace Lord, and he will escape from there safely. So, Dragon for a kill trade is not too bad, considering that was an Infernal Drake.
I think that was okay. You know, they are set a little bit behind, but I think the beauty lies in the team fights for NAD5. Now, the individual picks of Alexa are a lot stronger when it comes to skirmishes, but I think outright in team fights, NAD5, they do look pretty deadly, but they also cannot underestimate the Yumi, the On combo, along with a flying Pantheon coming in, and Vayne just really great DPS. So it is a good start for Alexa, and it looks like Raven's gonna come for a little gank, and it's go.
Ooh, that was a lot of burst damage coming in from that Syndra. They will confirm the kill. A really nice rotation coming in from the side of Zhao Raven. He was struggling top. He does manage to land an assist, so that kind of puts him even to On. And Black NP sadly wasn't there to answer. Really nice gang, really nice collapse coming in on that Talia. And even though Zhao Raven is kind of gotten even, I don't think laning against an On as a Wukong is something you would really enjoy. So you can expect more rotations coming in from that Wukong.
Yeah, that was really random. I felt like I didn't expect Wukong to do such an early gank, especially when, you know, Wukong needs to kind of sit and lane farm, get the items, and then make his magic. But in 5v5 plays, wherever you can get a roam, you get a roam.
I mean, how to sit in lane and farm when every time you take a step ahead, there's a W on your face, Q on your face, and that On is just like, yeah, I take no damage, but you do. So
yeah, that's a big move actually for Raven, but you know, and we can see that clearly happening what Bishi? Bishi is just having a great time, just bullying him. Doesn't really matter about Kirk with that condemn onto Wonka. That was like a straight up rejection. I felt bad for Seth.
Kirk was like, yeet. I mean, yeah, like that is why Vayne is so nice against Set. You pull her, she pushes you away. She's like, it's okay if you pull me, I can just push you away. And you see, Yumi is so annoying. She just keeps on poking them, and Comet means she's doing a lot of damage. Zhao Raven, every time he takes a step ahead. BG decides to go all in. He's dealing a lot of damage to Zhao Raven. I think Raven has to go recoil back and reset, but yeah, I feel really sorry for him in the top lane. He's doing well though for himself. He's not doing really bad, but standing against On is just really annoying as an AD bruiser.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the right call for Bishi. Well, he does have TP up and he did use that ultimate. It looks
Ooh,
like
there's a black MP coming in. And oh my god, they just pop Ash before Kaka's Q even connects. So that was like an EW combo, and Ash was popped before the Q could even connect. And they definitely want to give that lead onto Kaka, because Kaka has an habit on Talia. Whenever he gets a lead ahead, he will use his ulti and transfer the lead to other lanes, which is which is the best a Talia mid laner can do, and that is why he's so potent on the Talia.
Exactly, that was a brilliant kill. Now, you see this Pantheon pick, that's like a real good pick for Elixir. Like Black Infinity, it's something that you didn't expect. And I think that NA D5 didn't think about the Pantheon power spike at level 6 and how impactful he can be. Like just that ultimate in, Ash had no time to even react. Now, was Ignite a good option? Maybe, okay, he can get his kills, but the survivability for that Syndra is going to be a lot harder against this composition that Elixir is putting in.
Ooh, there's a fight going in. Ace Lord jumps in. A lot of damage going to Kirk. Kirk's been exhausted, and they will land snare, but an ulti snipe coming in from Nightmare. They will get a kill on Kirk.
Oh, that was a brilliant gank by Ace Lord. He knew what he had to do, and that was basically shutting that Vayne down. And that's going to just provide a little bit of space, but ooh, okay, so it looks like NAD5 start picking these fights when objectives are coming around, and I can't say that that is a bad thing. I think it's actually really smart, because they picked 2 fights in the mid and the bottom lane just to secure this ocean drink, and I think that that is a very smart strategy. Like, there's no point in picking fights if there's no other objective that they can take. And is this going to pay off for them? Possibly, but the goal lead still is in LXR's favor.
That's very true. Even though you see more mechanical plays, more outplays coming in on the side of Elixir Gaming, NAD5 have brilliant macro play. Their rotations, their strategies, the times they pick up fights, their objective controls, they're showing real dominance with the strategies. The part where I kinda am doubtful is that even after so many objectives, they're behind in gold, and with a scaling Vayne, where your draft was sort of weak, I don't know how far Noob Alliance is gonna go.
It is also very and another gang, but Ash manages to flash out safely this time.
Yeah, that was a really lucky flash coming in. He does manage to flash out safely, but at the same time, Herald gets popped mid. They will try to take as many stacks as gone. Meanwhile, bot 2v2, they collapse on Yumi. Vayne's been left open, and Vayne will demolish everybody. They chose the wrong target, and they have to pay the price for it. Double kill going on to a Vayne on the Kirk. And wow, they sort of left Vayne open to just dish out so much damage. I don't understand that 2v2 mechanics fight. Even though they're showing brilliant macro play, they're just messing up on simple mechanics and targeting when it comes to a bot lane fight.
That's very true. I felt that Wonka should have just aimed one single target and be very mindful of where Ezreal was. Now this is going to be a gank onto Bishi. with Zach just bouncing, but Raven is not going to be able to pick up that kill, but Kaka and Black Infinity is already here. They are here and they want blood. Are they going to make it out alive? NAD5. Wukong decides to take a detour. Aesop is just going to run to the safety of his tower, flashes out, and Wukong is also going to make it safe. Now that was really smart to split up and to be able to survive that gang. And I actually like that because there's a little bit of game sense coming out. But the bottom lane has to be very mindful of the AD carry being left very vulnerable to Kirk. And you can't underestimate Kirk. He knows what he's doing, and if not, he's actually one of the most decent AD
Now
carries.
Raven being bought out and will take so much damage, will fall down to Kaka. That was a really bad place to recall. And Willy Wonka trying to go in ham. Will land in the exhaust on Kirk. He will be able to land in the kill finally. And with that, he might just be able to land in a kill on Yuumi as well. Nope, Yuumi walks out. Meanwhile, a fight going on in mid again. Ace Lord will land in that E. Black Infinity takes in a lot of damage. He will deal damage back. Kaka picks up that kill on Syndra with this Q. And Ace Lord will fight back. And even though it's a messy situation going on, bot lane finally selects the right target and they finally are ahead in the lane. They should have been ahead for so long.
I don't know if feeling frustrated is the right word to explain this, but NAD5 has managed to set up some decent opportunities, get away from some slim fights. But it seems that they're skirmishing and their targets, the targets that they're choosing to aim, they're not quite on the same page. And I feel that if they just polish that, along with their great, macro play and thirst for objectives, they could really come out on top. Elixir is just showing off right now. The way that they skirmish is brilliant. They know how to play these fights out. The 2v2 situations, 3v3, 3v1, 1v1. Elixir is very experienced with that, and that's where NAD5 might actually lose out. Looking at the items and all that, Kaka is absolutely ahead. He has the most gold across the board at 6k. He has that GLP IC 800 hex tech, whatever you want to call it, and he's going to be able to slow a target, burst one, and he pretty much has more power than the Syndra right now, I feel. He does have his ulti up, and they're going to look for fights. And I just saw the on ulti being popped. Bishi was looking for a kill in the mid lane on Ashe with Kaka, so the next dragon's going to come up in 20 seconds, and this time instead of NAD5 we can see Elixir preparing for this specific objective. It is a cloud arena, so Raven getting burst by Kaka. That is such a Kaka thing to do. Stay in a bush and completely just take you by surprise and smack you. Like, I've been a victim of this in solo queue, and it's not a nice thing to be against.
Okay, who here agrees Cloud is literally the most boring soul in the game?
True, very true.
At this point, like, you don't even feel bad if a Cloud soul is gone because it's okay, it's kind of okay. It's not like an Ocean soul where you just become a god in team fighting. Meanwhile, Black NP will ulti bot. It's not being caught there. He cannot E in. Lot of damage being dished out. Wonka will die. Kirk's been free. He picks up another kill. Ace Lord will split up. And let's see who decide to give the kill to. Kaka picks up that kill. So all three carries sharing 1-1 kill each. That's best case scenario coming in for Elixir.
Elixir is just going to scale very nicely into the game. NAD5, unfortunately, they fell short there. Cloud Drake, I feel the soul is boring. Well, they just give you a lot of movement speed, but we cannot forget that it gives you a 10% cooldown reduction on your ultimates. Now, look at their team composition. That's a Pantheon with an On, with a Yuumi and a Talia. Now, if they get all of that CD onto their ultimates, it's just gonna be so damn annoying to deal with, especially with NAD5 being more ultimate reliant. So I think the Cloud Drakes would serve a lot more purpose if NAD5 wants to come back in this game, and I think they gotta start and try to secure those dragons. But there is a 7k gold lead, and we haven't seen this. We didn't even see this in semis 1, but it's happening now here in semis 2. I think the draft is just not going to work out. I think NAD5 has to take more risks in picking up champions that will scale better into the late game, and that is the risk that Alexa is picking out. And because of their experience, they're able to pull it off very, very nicely.
Meanwhile, Acelot was forced to take the blue buff on himself as Zac, rather than being able to give it to the Syndra because they were all hovering there, which kind of puts Ashe behind because let's face facts, Zac doesn't really benefit from a blue buff, and Syndra really needs that to clear the waves easily, to have that CD, and to really be annoying and keep poking. You really need that blue buff. With that, I think this is a battle ping pause, and Wukong has reconnected again, so we will go back into the game really shortly. But now that we've officially reached the mid game point and we see the spike, the early game spike in the early game pressure coming down from NAD5, what do you think should be their mentality from this point forth?
Well, I feel that Ezreal needs to get his core items, like at least two items, and he pretty much can kind of fight in team fights. Especially against Vayne, we're gonna know that he's definitely gonna fall short. So NAD5 has to make sure that the target that they are going to burst is worth it. And I think at this point they gotta aim Kaka and Captain Kirk while also being mindful that their jungler does do an exceptional amount of damage as well with that Yomu's completed and with the warriors. For NAD5, they gotta get picks. There is a Zac right there. They have a Syndra. They've got to pick Elixir in very vulnerable spots because Alexa are very aggressive players, and if they do manage to coordinate it right, they can pick up one or two people, and I think that's what has to be on any D5's mind as of now. But the Syndra only with one item completed does not look super bright for her at this point. She can burst a target, but they've got to drag this out a little bit more, especially when you have a damn Talia farming your jungle. That's going to be tough because Zac is going to be completely shut out from farm. He is level 9 to and level 11 Pantheon, and it's going to be hard to come back, but they've got to capitalize on mistakes. That's one way to put it, but they have to also be able to identify it.
That's very true, and the way this game is panning out, now that we're going from mid to late game, this is where your Vayne will start to outshine. Ezreal barely just completed two items, doesn't have big enough lead on Vayne. Vayne in fact has more gold, and oh here Ace Lord being caught. He will be punished, and kill going over to Black Infinity. An exhaust being burned on Captain Kirk, I don't really know why. It was so badly timed. Wonka just walks in and ints at this point. Jao Raven will come in with his ulti, will take in a lot of damage, will have to back out, and Bishi coming in from behind with an orb. A beautiful flank coming in, Ashe taking in a lot of damage. Black Infinity, even though he has disconnected his team, still wants to fight. And Yumi will pick up that kill on Ashe, and with that, it was a 3v0 in favor of Elixir. And for me, at this point, it's more or less game.
Never say never, I feel. I'm always going to stay hopeful for the losing team, but that's okay. And that was actually a fight that was well played by Alexa, but very questionable by NAD5. Now, Bishi with the teleport and coming in from the back with the ram to the back, that was a good play from Alexa. But NAD5 has to understand that Alexa is extremely coordinated. Now, Zac going in to check on that Rift Herald objective was not very smart. They got to move as a whole contingent and not just one by one because they're just going to end at this point and they just further set themselves back. Now, I'm actually surprised that Nightmare is out farming Kirk at this point because Kirk usually holds a lot of CS, but I've also seen Kirk rotate a lot more than he usually does. So that is very nice to see from Alexa. There is more macro play coming out from them, and they know that in the finals they gotta play that way. And if they do make it to the finals, it's DF that they're gonna face. A team that also has very strong macro. Now NAD5 to make it there, they have to just tighten everything up, pull yourselves together, and setting yourself behind like that, that's almost a 10k goal lead. It's just looking very not bright.
I mean, if you look at that fight, okay, Ace Lord got caught out, no biggie, okay. As a jungler, he got caught out. He was completely out of position, understandable. What Wonka did after that was extremely surprising. Nightmare throws in an exhaust, if I'm not wrong, out of nowhere, and Wonka just walks in to E someone in between four people when his team is not even there. Wonka just like he basically entered there. He didn't ulti, he didn't do anything. He just walked in, four people to try and E someone, got stunned and just got 100 to 0 there. So I really don't understand what Wonka was trying to do there. But I don't know if he's tilted. I don't know if NAD5 is having a mental battle over here right now. But the way they are playing right now, it is not optimal, and uh, we kind of I kind of hope they're able to bounce back. But it was an early game comp, and they really didn't do much early game. There was really not much pressure early game, and now that the win started to scale, now that Kaka has 6 kills on that Talia, things look very very scary.
All right, guys, remember this is the South Asia Championship League that you are watching. This is the first game of semis 2, which will be a best of 3. Now, Demos Force managed to get a spot in the finals from semis 1, and now we will see who will be fighting against them. This is NAD5 versus Elixir, and there's a little bit of a pause, but not to worry, guys, we'll be back very, very shortly. Hi guys, and we are back. So I think it's going to be unpaused very shortly. We see the R's being dropped in the chat. And Bishi has unpaused the game. Let's get right back into it. It is 13-3. Going over to the side of Elixir, they are extremely ahead. They have secured one dragon. NAD5, they are doing their best to try and come back. Sri Lanka represent, they're not going to give up just yet. They do have a team fighting composition, but they struggle to look for the opportunities for a pick or for a proper team fight. And it looks like, you know, they gotta pick up the scraps a little bit and try to get back into the game. There is a huge, almost 10k goal lead, and Elixir has also secured 3 towers over NAD5. So that is the rundown. Kaka on the Talia is an absolute monster. Black Infinity has put off some insane ganks and team fights. Brilliant skirmishers. Cap Kirk is just feeling great with his little Hemi kitty on his back. You know, that Hemi kitty just following him around. I'm so used to watching Hemi play things that are very dominating with a lot of impact moving around the map with their control. But this time, he's just gonna sit back and scratch Kirk's back. So, right now, it's just gonna be me, myself, and I, but let's get straight into it, guys. So, okay, so NAD5, they're looking for a small opportunity. The dragon is coming up. It is a cloud arena. Now, we know that gives you 10% cooldown reduction on your ultimate. It's going to be crucial for NAD5 to pick this up because they're so ultimate reliant. And if Elixir just picks this up, it's going to go even more downhill from there. But is that Vayne alone? Is she going to get caught out by Ashe? No, Kirk is too slippery, too fast for NAD5 to handle at this point.
I mean, what NAD5 is doing right now is not ideal. They are really behind on farm. They are really behind on everything, and they wasted just so much time trying to get this break. Where if a fight just breaks out and it is broken out, a lot of damage. Ashe just dies. Black Infinity will pick up that Drake, and Wonka takes in a lot of damage. He will summon to BC. Black Infinity snipes Wonka right out of nowhere. Zhao Raven has no option left but to run away, and Zack dies. So that's what I was saying. NAD5, they had no business being there. They had no business taking that fight, and they will get punished for it. They're playing really badly, and Infinity gets another double kill. With that, it was a 4-for-0 trade in favor of Elixir. NAD5 had no business being there. Why were they there?
I think they were trying to look for an opening where they started the dragon, you know, they could put in some damage, but I think at this point it's a little bit tough, and Elixir as a team, well, I'm not saying that no one makes mistakes, but they rarely make mistakes, especially with a lead like this. They're gonna push it. They're gonna push it right to the end, and now they are looking at Baron. So they've got 2 Cloud Drakes with that decreases their ulti cooldown. On's ult is 86 seconds, Pantheon is on 100, and that just means that they can constantly ult every minute. That's not going to give any breathing space for NAD5 at all. And this Baron is going to be knocked, he's dead, and it goes over to Elixir. So right now, I think the plan is going to be to reset, move, and basically try to end the game.
I mean, I'm still trying to put 2 and 2 together. If that was them initiating Baron and they kind of waited and let Baron do a lot of damage, take up aggro, and had that team fight, would have still made sense. But it was Dragon. Dragon doesn't do that sort of damage, and you were so behind. Why would you contest a Drake, and that to a Cloud Drake? Absolutely make no sense. And with that, NAD5 has kind of gone really behind. I don't know what their game plan is. I don't know how they plan on bouncing back, but looking at the fact that they were sort of an early game comp and they couldn't do much early game, Vayne has your 2 core items completed, which makes that Vayne is really strong. They have the Baron buff now, and they will just push and end this at given point. They try to jump in on that Bishi. Bishi is so tanky, he's barely taking any damage. He will turn around, he will deal his own damage. Ace Lord getting got. Kaka coming in from behind will pop on Ashe. Now they're trying to divert the attention on Ace Lord. Infi will pick up that kill on Ace Lord, will be able to snipe him out, and with that it's game. I think it's time for NAD5 to go back to the board, uh, look at why and what mistakes they made, and how to bounce back in game 2, because it's over for them in game 1.
You see, Kong is an AD carry that was really pushing the top lane. Now, NAD5 should have looked for a pick onto the lane and not the tank like BC, because they were just basically scratching him and cutting his head. He took no damage, and BC was like, oh yes, you know, I'm just gonna be here, wait for my team to back me up. And Black Infinity just flies in. Just not a great spot for them, but they did. Elixir managed to use that Baron buff to push 2 towers and an inhibitor, and that's 7 towers to Elixir with a 15k gold lead. It's so one-sided now, and is any D5 going to be able to pick up? No, but out of good sportsmanship, they're not going to surrender. They're going to keep fighting. And is anything going to change? Is somebody going to randomly int from Elixir?
I mean, with a 15k gold lead, you'd really need more than one person to int. You will need the whole team to int at least twice. And there's a fight breaking out. Kaka picks up Nightmare. I don't even know where. Everybody is collapsing. Ace Lord with the worst ulti I've ever seen from a Zac. And with that, it's just game. All of that had died. Infi rage quits because his team is just so good and he can't do much. And we are going to go to game 2. Elixir secures game 1 quite comfortably. GG, well played.
Brilliant! The first game goes over to Elixir. It is very rarely that I'm in a laughing fit, but Ace Lord seemed to dirt out there and jumped on the spot with his slingshot. But that was just not a great game for NAD5, but not to worry, it is only the first game. Now NAD5 has the next 2 games to try and come back, but GG well played to Elixir, taking this first one into their hands. Now we're going to just have a little look at the damage charts and overall stats of what just went down. And I very much like the fact that Ezreal did try to do his best. He did put in a lot of damage, but it wasn't quite enough. NAD5 can switch it up with their composition. It's just back to the drawing board, like you mentioned. Kaka absolutely obliterated, as well as Black Infinity, a very impactful Pantheon jungle, and I really, really like that. So, guys, stay tuned. We will be back. This is the South Asia Championship League powered by LG UltraGear, and 5 minutes, we'll be right with you.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear Gaming Monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG UltraGear gaming monitor. Numerous forces aimed at the Earth.
Hello, guys, and welcome back. This is the South Asia Championship League powered by LG UltraGear. It is Apollonia here, and my co-caster will be Obi. Now, we are moving into game 2 of the second semis. The first game was won by Elixir, and it is now NAD5's chance to try and get back into the game and try to have that chance into moving over to the finals. And as for Alexa, they just gotta win this and off they go. So right now we are in the ban phase. We see the Senna, Irelia, and Yasuo ban from NAD5. Definitely targeted bans. We know Kirk on that Senna. We know Hemi on the Irelia, and the Yasuo, I'm not too sure. Do you have any insight about that?
Amy is a one-trick Yasuo who later turned into a one-trick Irelia, but
Oh,
yeah. So and Kaka also plays a mean Irelia, which you showed last time. Uh, Kirk with that Senna just unlocks so much potential bot lane. Again, same bans being coming out from both sides. Syndra first pick and Kaka picking up the Talia, so they've allowed Kaka on that comfort Talia once again. And Black Infinity was hovering over that Kane. He could be picking the Kane. He could lock in on I1.
oh, please lock in Ivan, please.
Are you trolling me, Infinity, or are you really gonna lock
Nah, is he actually?
No, he just told you. That was a bait. I knew it was a bait. He wasn't gonna lock in that Iron. And Infinity locks in that Pantheon. So Thalia Pantheon again. That AOE, that global pressure coming in. And if last game is any example, NAD5 had no counter to that. So I don't know what different would they do this time.
You know, something that we don't think about very often is that teams that have globals are usually put in more of an advantage. Now, what kind of globals we usually think of? Shen, Galio, and then maybe the Senna ulti, Soraka. But do we ever think about the Talia wall and the Pantheon out where he just jumps right in? No, but this is what Alexa is doing. They pick both these champions and they're playing it like globals. Now, NAD5 need to figure out how they're going to be able to follow up as fast as their enemies, and that is an Ezreal Mordekaiser that will sum up their first pick phase pretty okay, but then Mordekaiser into there's an on. Alright, so it's a Mordekaiser on matchup. I would say it's a skill matchup, kinda. Yeah, it's a skill matchup. How Raven's going to be able to play that against Bishi, we'll see.
It isn't a skill match. It's a slumber fest. It's like two fucking fat guys just going at it.
It's a skill matchup.
It's
Like
a slumber
who wins
fest.
is a skill matchup.
It's a slumber fest. It's gonna be like you farm, I farm, we meet during team fight. And but yeah, I kind of like it. They realize that okay, Wukong definitely isn't gonna work out. Bishi, he's used to playing a lot of tanks, and a bruiser like Wukong against the tanks Bishi plays, may it be Maokai or may it be on, is never ever gonna work out. So smart decision for them to shift over to Mordekaiser, and we see that Yumi being banned out, they definitely don't want that annoyance, that heal, that poke coming out. And Hammy will go to Nautilus. He plays a really mean Nautilus. His hooks are really nice. And I would like to say what ADC Kirks bring forward, because there's a lot of options open right now. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have a Syndra, Ezreal, and Wukong does get picked again. So I take my praises back. It might this time be a jungle Wukong, but Wukong is something I'm a little dicey about.
I do not like Wukong in the jungle at all. His clear is absolute shit. Like I don't like it at all. Like Wukong in the jungle, I don't know about that. Maybe it's Mordekaiser in the jungle. Who knows? But that is going to be a Leona support. So it is Ezreal and Leona in the bot lane, Syndra in the mid lane, and Mordekaiser and Wukong we will figure out. Okay, it is a Wukong in the jungle. So, well, they have switched up
Kaisa,
picks. Okay, we'll see. So Kaisa is going to be the last pick for Alexa. Now, Captain Kirk, a very decent AD carry. He was on that vein that was very impactful. The last game he was split pushing, nobody stopped him. He had the Yumi. In team fights, he was just free hitting, just stacking those silver bolts. Kirk was doing great. And now with this Kaisa, he's going to be able to keep himself safe, especially with the ultimate fast follow-ups. Very decent last pick. The overall team composition coming out from NAD5, they do have the early to mid to late, and I like it. It looks very, very solid. And Black Infinity pulling out this Pantheon out of nowhere. We barely see this jungle pick, and he knows his strengths. And that synergy that we see Black Infinity with Kaka in the mid lane, very nice, good early ganks, and just straight up pressure in the jungle by these two. Now for any D5, it is going to be a Wukong in the jungle. Now I don't know how that's going to fare. Maybe they have some secret way of making their Wukong work, but generally I don't favor it because the clear speed is a little bit slow. But Wukong at level 6, he can be very game changing, especially with his ultis, the double ulti, and if you're good, you can triple ulti. It provides a lot of that utility, and it is a very mid early game, only with Ezreal as the exception to scale into the late game. But Ezreal needs to be able to have that bit of push to be able to get to that state. So NAD5, we can see it's very step 1, 2, and 3 with this team composition. Leona goes in, Wukong comes in, Mordekaiser just takes somebody out. Now Mord has to be able to kill at least one person on the side of Elixir, and I don't know who that's going to be. That Mord is going to be able to kill. So how this is going to pan out, we can see the plans. But what do you think? Which lane do you think Wukong is going to focus on for NAD5? Or do you think he's going to farm till 6?
I mean, honestly, Wukong is kind of going to farm till 6, or the early game gang, the early like pre-6 gangs from Wukong are something I'm not really happy about. And Wukong as a jungler, I don't like it. I don't think it fares too well. But I could be wrong. I could be entirely wrong. He could just be a one-trick Wukong and he'll just rule the world and rule the map. But if I have to talk about the whole team fighting potential, on one side you have Ezreal, Wukong, Mordekaiser, Syndra. I mean, it's single target burst plus mixed with some AoE burst. While on the other side, you have Pantheon, you have On, which is massive AoE. You have Nautilus, which will just lock up a target. You have Kaisa, which deals a lot of AoE, and then you have Talia, who can just cut a team fight right from the center and go behind a target endlessly. So on paper, just comparing the draft purely, Elixir's team looks far, far, far better, more synchronized, and on the side of Noob Alliance, it looks more of a solo queue kind of team comp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you mean with your concerns on NAD5's team composition, but if these are their comfort picks and they really like them, anything can happen. And hopefully they do snowball the right lane, and the lane with their lead will be able to translate it across the map to the other laners, and we'll see more synergy, more teamwork, more objectives coming out from NAD5. Now we know that they're great with securing the early dragons, but transitioning into the late game and pulling off the team fights, aiming the same target, knowing what the plan is when it comes to the skirmishes, that is something that we need to see NAD5 step up with. And for Alexa, they pretty much really coordinated. Like, they are a good example for a lot of these teams to look at and to basically make their goals around how they want to play. Because NAD5, sorry, not NAD5, Alexa. When Alexa has a lead, they push it all the way and they do rotate. We can see a lot of rotation improvements and a lot of varies in playstyle as well. So we did have Hemi on the Yumi before, but now he is going to be on that Nautilus, and we're going to see that Hemi power. Now we are out of the delay, done from the loading screen, and the games are about to start. Now remember guys, this is the South Asia Championship League that you are watching. This is semis 2, we're on to game 2. The first game was won by Alexa. Who's going to win this second game? NAD5 to try another chance at getting to the finals, or Alexa is just going to be a clean sweep, call it a day, okay, well, not even a day, call it a few hours, and then it's going to be the finals for them.
Okay, guys, so now that we are in game, let's look at the keystones. And Kirk still has Hail of Blades on a Kaisa. I've never seen that before. I don't know how it works. Maybe it's a new meta, something I'm completely unaware about.
Okay, let me just add this about Kirk, okay? Kirk is a really good right click AD carry champion. And I think Hail of Blaze is probably tailored to what he likes. Being able to just, auto attack and he can just reposition himself, just auto attacks all the way. I think that's what he's going for. Maybe he's really comfortable on the Keystone, but the way he played it with Vayne just now, he knew what he was doing. So I think this is a little bit of Kirk spice into it.
Maybe it's the new meta I'm completely unaware of because ADC is something I don't watch much. I don't keep up myself with ADC. I'm sorry for all of that. I promise I'll change myself as a person. I promise I'll change myself as a caster. But yeah, except that all of your runes pretty standard. Again, we see a conqueror's galore coming in. Conqueror for me right now is one of the strongest runes, and it's really good played on any champion. So I'm not surprised to see a lot of champions picking up conqueror.
I feel that it makes sense if this Kaiser were to go the Manamune and the Gwinsu build. So the Halo Blitz is gonna help you stack up the Gwinsu way more quick and just dish out overall more damage. I think that's what Kirk has in mind, but we will watch him through the game and we will see how all of this works out for Kirk in the end. Now, guys, this pause time might take a while, but don't worry, we'll be right back very shortly when the game does start. So hold on tight to your seats. We'll be back. Alright guys, we are back. And now we are starting the game. We see all the teams running to their battle positions. Sorry, excuse. Sorry, I choked over there.
Does my co-caster have corona?
Oi! No, you can't do that. No, I am healthy and safe. So we see that NAD5 will be taking the positions that they usually do, but Elixir is coming in for the invade. Mordekaiser's just gonna back off. Raven knows it's not safe. A-Slot is just looking at them thinking, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna come into this bush and kill me? Probably not. And that was just a very cute early game. They just looking at each other. Leona did manage to put in that ward deep into the jungle, so their NAD5 is gonna find out what Alexa is doing. So both blues are warded.
Both blues are warded at this
Yeah.
point, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Like both blues are warded, so it's really good. Even 1-1 ward trade sort of coming in, and at this point, both junglers are gonna start bot side of the map. So I expect a lot of mid pressure this game from both sides. Since Kaka on Talia is somebody who's really high pressure, and Infi can just gank him at any given point, and they usually get a kill out of it. So Ace is also gonna play around mid because he knows Black Infi will be focusing on Kaka a lot.
And we see a little bit of skirmish, and that is the hook that's going to be dropped by the Nautilus, but sadly it does not connect. Now, Hemi is lagging. Alright, you know, every time I say the name Hemi, I feel like I'm calling my little brother, who has the same name. So it's like, Hemi is a very special name to me. But it looks like there will be another pause. So let's just talk a little bit about the starting items and see if they will unpause it shortly. Corrupting Potions, you know, from On. I do think that that's a very nice start. It offers a bit of sustain in lane. It's only bad when you're against someone that bullies you really, really, really hard and you just can't trade back. So On with the Corrupting Potion, Talia as well, we know that's Kaka. He has also the Biscuit. So they have the Biscuits. Increased healing from the potions, the Biscuits. They want to stay in lane as long as possible. And that's good because you can wait out for a gank, wait out for the right opportunity. The longer you are in lane, the more CS you can get as well. We can see this strat coming out from Syndra. Ashe on that Syndra, so that's understandable. Now this Mordekaiser pick by Raven, I feel that Raven has to really get a push ahead. Now, if Wukong can get Raven ahead and it gets Raven to the point where he can dish out a lot of damage against Bishi and just boom, it's gonna be a good start for NAD5. But
Wukong, you could see, I think he's managed to sneak in that red buff. Yeah, he's managed to steal that red buff, and now he'll go towards his blue, but that's a first blood coming in from Captain Kirk. He just picks out that Leona out of nowhere, and that's an early kill going on to Kaisa.
Oh, that was a very good first blood for Kirk. Now that's going to be hell. Now Raven is beating Bishi to the back, cancels that auto. Not really sure why, but that is the dominance. Now I always feel that it is a skill matchup when it comes to Mordekaiser versus On. And early game, Mordekaiser definitely does pack a punch, but Hemi lands a hook onto Nightmare, and Kirk's just not quite in range to finish off that kill. But it's very aggressive. We see a lot more aggression coming out from NAD5. Ashe is at this point, and that's not good against Kaka, because Kaka can look for rooms right now.
I mean, Ashe still has a Biscuit, she still has Corrupting Potion, so it's all good. And bot lane, Nightmare has to back right now, he doesn't decide to back. Kirk flashes in, gets exhausted, gets ignited, but will pick up that kill on Nightmare. He was so low. And Wonka coming in, Kaka by fans, Hemi by jumping in, will deal some damage, and Wonka picking up one kill, but that was really badly played by Nightmare. Black Infi coming out of nowhere will secure that kill, and with that Elixir build up a good decent enough lead for them.
Black Infinity is a definition of wherever you going, you ain't going nowhere. Black Infinity is always there to pick up these kills. That flash was brilliant. He picks up 1, that's just going to get Pantheon rolling because he is the type of jungler that needs a little bit of a snowball. Hemi does not manage to land that hook, but it is going to be okay. It's a 3-1. Alexa is ahead, 1k plus gold lead. The dragon is spawning very soon. It's looking good for Alexa right now, and NAD5, they're going to try as hard as possible, and I still think that Raven does need a little bit of a push, and we see the engage going on to Bishi. Is Bishi going to be able to survive this? Raven will take a lot of minion damage at the same time. The shield is popped, he has to be able to land that Q, but Raven is going to choose to walk out, and I don't know if that is going to be a good option. Bishi is level 5, and that is the flash. Finishes the kill off onto Raven. Now, I feel that that was a little bit of a gap in mechanics and potential, knowing the limit of your champion. Raven got a good amount of damage off of Bishi, but he wasn't playing around the cooldowns quite as well, taking in all of that minion damage.
Ooh, that's a really quick teleport coming in. Ace comes in, and but it's no point, and Zhao Raven might die. Oh my god, Zhao Raven. Oh my god. Okay.
They are desperate.
So,
they are desperate at this point.
No, I mean, like, it's not even desperate, it's sheer stupidity. The last time he died was because if you would have seen the damage taken, 40% of the damage he took was from the minion wave. Last time he was just tanking the minion wave while fighting Bishi. This time again he just started tanking the minion wave, turret dived and just died, and he was lucky enough Bishi couldn't land an auto or a Q onto him, otherwise the game would just be over for them. And you can't show that amount of desperation at 5 minutes in the game when you have comps which scale pretty decently. Mordekaiser is not an early game champion. I don't know what Zhao even is trying to do at this point.
Exactly, and Mordekaiser, you know, dying twice like that I felt was just not the right thing to do. They want to kill Bishi so bad. They want to get that Mordekaiser a hit, but they can't. And I think it's better to look for options elsewhere. But it looks like it's going to be a 4-man collapse onto the bot lane. Wonka goes straight for Captain Kerr, but it's not going to move anything. Nightmare, I think that was a wrong blink. And he gets burst by Kaka. And that is going to be a 2-for-1. Ace-Lock comes in just for that 1 kill pickup. Not, well, at least they didn't lose everything. They did manage to get something. Syndra with that roam as well. Syndra did opt for a cleanse over Ignite this game, so we can see where they are changing it up a little bit. And I think Raven should relax on these trades just a little bit. But Leona with the 2 kills, I don't think it's the support that you want carrying all the kills right now. But NAD5 has to persevere and look for opportunities.
An opening.
Yeah, that's true. And if you see Nightmare at 7-minute mark doesn't have a tier. That for me is game over for Ezreal, honestly.
Ooh, that is a 24-49 CS. Not too good for Ezreal. And we're looking at the goal difference. Ezreal only has 1.9k while Kirk has 3.4 all together. So that's going to really cause a lot of problems for NAD5 when they transition into the late game, because their one champ that scales really well into that late game is just not going to be able to dish out that damage. Whereas Kirk on that Kai'Sa is going to be an absolute monster. We can't forget that Black Infinity will be hitting that level 6 very, very soon. And it's just going to be a lot more ganks with that Pantheon ulti. A-Slot is already 6. Now he's got to look for an opportunity before Pantheon can. And it looks like it won't be possible in the mid lane. We see Ash just taking his time, getting back into lane. And the dragon is up. So dragon has not been contested, which is normally not the case. We usually see very early dragons, but this time they're gonna just wait on it a little bit, you know, just chill a little bit before they take that.
I mean, I don't really know what NAD5 is doing. Nightmare gets caught again, he will just die. Wonka just taking too much damage. Black Infinity will catch up to him. Kirk will dish out a lot of damage, get a double kill. We'll have to flash out of turret because it's taking aggro, and with that they should be able to comfortably push the bot turret. This for me is game over. Ezreal just picked up his tier at 8 minutes 50 seconds, which means before 25-minute mark, his mana Mune or Mura mana is not going to get, at least 25-30 minute mark his Mura mana is not going to get online. Till then Ezreal is pretty much going to be irrelevant in terms of damage dealt. He's 0-3-1. He's 31 CS to 68, and there is little to no help coming in from any lane. It looks like NAD5 is playing a solo queue game right now. But it's a 3k lead at 9-minute point for Elixir, and looks like another comfortable game for them at this point.
Extremely true. That first Drake, which is a Mountain one, will go over to the side of Elixir. So now they've just set everything lovely for themselves to transition into the mid game. Everybody's with a positive score, positive CS. And NAD5, you know, they're really gonna play from behind. Now, I think instead of making plays, NAD5 should try to respond as quickly as possible to the plays that LXR will be carrying out. The Herald was taken by Wukong, so you know Acelot has to think and be really strategic with the placement of this Herald because it can grant you a lot of gold, and that might be enough just to give the extra push because every bit of damage counts. But we see Hammy so confidently walking in again. Level 6 to level 5, the ulti is dropped by the Nautilus. But here comes Acelot. He has the ultimate, runs onto Kirk. Kirk does not have flash, uses his ulti, but exhaust is dropped, and that is Kirk dead, gone. Hammy runs for his life, flashes into the Dragon Pit, and he is going to be safe. And Black Infinity is doing, oh no, that's a 3-man collapse onto Ash. Rishi tanks that tower beautifully, and it's gonna be the mid tower. It feels like NAD5 doesn't have time to think. Because just as they pulled off a good gank in the bot lane, oh, their mid lane got shut down. It's like Alexa always has a backup plan.
NAD5 can't seem to catch a break right now. BC meanwhile getting caught by Zhao Raven up top. He will ulti him. I think he'll finally be able to get a kill on BC. BC, oh, that's a really nice flash. He will flash in and confirm that kill. And that's okay. That's finally a positive sort of a trade coming in for Noob Alliance. Something finally positive going on. Never mind. I take it back. Kaka Black Infinity come in. They just burst down Zhao Raven, and he will fall down. Kaka gets the kill. He's on a killing spree, and Kirk will just chunk bot turret. It's a solo queue game, and red team is pretty much ahead.
I like the way you pronounce Xiao Raven. I'm actually pronouncing it in the most Chinese way possible, and it's like Zhao Raven. But not to worry. I wonder, like, is that taken inspiration from that mid player from Singapore?
Yeah, Zhao. I don't know. It may be like
because Xiao means small,
yeah.
So he's like small Raven. You know, it's kind of like a cute name when you add Xiao in front of your name, but. I like it, you know, coming from Sri Lanka, I actually like that idea a lot. But Mordekaiser definitely got that solo kill onto Bishi. Kudos to Mordekaiser. I hope Bishi doesn't hear this. But that is what just happened. And
Bishi said you suck, you lost a 1v1 and that's it. So, but no, all jokes aside, the game looks very much in favor of Elixir. They have like more than a 4k gold lead right now. At this point, I really want to see what Noob Alliance has in store. What are their plans? Because right now a brilliant hook landing onto Nightmare. He flashes out of it, will get stun connected, will take in some damage, but Wonka will gladly fall in. Infi coming in from behind, snipes Nightmare, and I feel so sorry for Noob Alliance's bot lane.
Bishi wants revenge on that Xiao Raven, but that was a beautiful collapse in the bot lane. You see, Black Infinity is everywhere. He's watching his map. He knows. It's like every time Alexa has a fight, Black Infinity is there to clean it up. Like what happened in top lane. Mordekaiser got the kill onto On. But there goes Black Infinity and Kaka. You cannot run away from both of them. And I think that the plan should be, if you want to stop Alexa, stop their jungler and stop their mid laner. I don't think it's stop the bot lane. I think it's the real beauty that is coming out from Infinity and Kaka because they are playing like absolute monsters. And also, okay, we have to give credit where it's due. Kirk is also farming very nicely. He has his items. And NAD5, they gotta try and come back, use whatever resources they have, but it's looking a bit bleak for them at the moment. Especially as Syndra is on her way to completing that Ludus. She could actually just back and pick that up real quick. I haven't seen that the cleanse has done much for her. Kaka also has that cleanse. I have seen this summoner a lot that Kaka does pick it up, but now we have moved into a pause, and it looks like Kaka needs to go to the toilet. And
Okay, let's talk about this game. For me, the most detrimental lane this game has been bot. Kirk and Hammy have been so dominant. It has not been nothing but a joy to watch them. Since level 2, they've just been looking for engages. They've just been hammering in, and they've put Nightmare and Wonka so behind. They must be tilted. They don't even know what's happening right now. And Kirk on that Kaisa 623 with 115 CS. He's so far up ahead. Nautilus is so far ahead. He has a rod of ages. Um, it's just they are just dominating so hard at this point. I don't know what No Balance is gonna do.
alright, so Raven fighting Vichy again and smacking him in the back, but he will be safe. And it is true, Kaisa is a level 9 and Ezreal is still level 7. So that is a huge gap in terms of levels. Kaka also has a 1 level advantage, and so does Black Infinity now. The Ocean Drake is up. This is the second dragon of the game, and it looks like it will go over to the side of LXR. That is the dragon that they will secure, and they might look to push other lanes because they did get the first tower in the bottom lane, so there's extra gold, just putting them even more ahead. But Hammy comes in with the engage, and Black Infinity, of course, wherever you go, I go. Black Infinity is right there. Here comes Kaka building the wall, and he jumps right onto Wonka, who tried to flash out to safety, but nope, that was not going to be the case. Acelot, is he looking for an engage? Where is his team? But he has to out to safety, and that is going to be the blast cone. Infinity is like, where you going? You ain't going nowhere again. And that is the kill onto Nightmare. Black Infinity is unstoppable. He is setting up all these fights together with Hammy, and that is insane. Now Acelot is running to the safety of his tower, but here comes Cup. Just blasts himself right into Acelot's face.
Meanwhile, Kaka dies to the turret. Highlight of the game. Clip that, boys. I will haunt him for the rest of his life for that gameplay. But yeah, like I mean, Acelot ran all the way away. Willy Wonka does land it stun, gives that kill to Kirk. Will 1v1 that Jao Raven. Nightmare comes in 2v1. He will finally fall down, and that's 2 kills going over to Mordekaiser. But right now it's kind of too little, too late kind of a situation going on. Mod has nothing completed. He's going for Leandries as the first item, if I'm not wrong. Yep, he made Leandries. He doesn't have the CC, he doesn't have the Rylai slow. The itemization is quite sus this game. And honestly, like, Acelot ran all the way away from Nautilus right into Kaisa's arm is something I really don't understand.
I mean, at this point, you can see that they're a bit flustered, and Leona's gonna get caught out here by the Kaka knockback on that Talia, and we see the TP being popped. Here comes Bishi, here to help his friends. So now it's Bishi and Ko at the top side of the map, and they're just controlling the map so well right now. There's the Herald just got resetted, and I just want you to look at the map, right? There's 4 vision wards coming up on the side of Elixir. The whole bot side of the map is just warded, and that is just wow. 4 vision wards. You don't normally see that from teams unless they have really good understanding of how team play comes about, and that's how they're able to get so much dominance over NA.
I mean, it's really commendable, but at this point, they're just mechanically so behind. I don't even think those vision wards matter. Acelot comes in, takes a lot of burst damage. He's using his ulti to just run away every single time, and that's not how Wukong's ulti should ever be used. Rift gets pop mid with this. They might be able to take. They'll take the first turret easily. They might be able to take tier 2 turret. Nope, they back off. That's a Talia ulti coming in from behind. No, Kaka won't decide to follow in on that, and Bishi will continue split pushing bot.
So let's just have a look at the scoreboards a little bit. Kai'Sa is an absolute monster. We were talking about the Guinsoo with the Hail of Blades. I helped stack that item so well that Manamune is almost at max stacks, about 100 plus more to go. And Ezreal only has an Iceborne. Now, I always feel that it's not really a great idea to sit on a tier and build Iceborne first, because you're not going to have any damage on Ezreal whatsoever. You need to rush that Manamune with the extra pickaxe, and then you're going to have a little bit more damage. But right now he's just looking to stay alive, and like you mentioned, Wukong also needs to have more impactful ultimates. The team has to be more coordinated when they come together for these fights. Now Elixir has secured both the dragons. The next one is coming up, and it is a cloud map, so ultis will be put on cooldown, and it's just going to be more hell if Elixir does manage to secure this. They do have a very big lead, a 7k lead. It's gonna be 10k very soon. It's 17 to 8. It looks like it might actually be a second win for Elixir, but we're gonna see what NAD5 is gonna be able to pull out. And right now, the person with the most amount of gold on NAD5 is the Mordekaiser. So Mord would have to catch someone out, hopefully Kirk, and try to kill him or Kaka, but they're really ahead. Is that going to be able to happen? And it looks like there's going to be...
There's a reverse catch happening. Black Infinity goes in. Lot of damage given to Ace Lord. Ash will just get popped instantly. Kirk's in. Between three people, he's just dishing out damage like nobody's business. Catch Kirk. Jao Raven ultis on him. Doesn't matter. Even though he kills Kirk, all of NAD5 will fall like a house of cards. They will just shatter. And let's just put things into perspective. Ezreal is so behind, he still hasn't finished the skull. He has 450 stacks on his tier, and he has no Mura mana. I mean, it's just the inevitable. It's 922. It's just inevitable, but I think we're looking towards the 2-0 right now.
Alright, the third dragon will go over to Elixir. So that was a very successful team fight for them. Mordekaiser is the fastest on the team, did manage to pick off Kirk and pick up some shutdown gold from that. But NAD5, you know, they didn't expect the loop-de-loop and that secret engage coming from the back, because Black Infinity and Kaka single-handedly took out two members, which is Acelot and Ash, just both of them from the sheer burst damage that they possess. So Kaka with the 10 stacks Magi's, I mean, this game is just getting worse for NAD5. Like, watching it from their perspective, it just feels so hard to get back into the game right now, especially when their champs were supposed to get a lead in the early game, but they could not manage to grasp it. But we see them persevering and fighting on. Soul Raven will be collapsed on by 3 of Elixir, and that is a kill secured by Black Infinity, who does not care. He is out to get blood, and he has a beautiful KDA which he wants to maintain.
That's very true, and with this, I think Baron is gonna fall down. With which they can start the beginning of the end.
And that is Baron that Elixir will secure. Where is NAD5? They are looking for this, but Talia is shutting them off, and so is Bishi on that on. Acelot, is he going to get caught out? Who is dead? Cell Raven is still dead. Acelot tries to ulti away, but no, that is the Baron secured by Elixir, and also the kill onto Acelot. That flash from Hemi, silent on his opponents, but is that going to be enough? No. This Baron buff, they're pushing into the base. The Yomus is dropped, and I think it's going to be a full collapse situation. Wonka lets go of the Leona ulti, but it doesn't do anything. But Hemi misplaced himself. With the Baron buff, he still manages to die under tower, and that's what you call cockiness, ladies and gentlemen. But is that enough to get them back into the game? NAD5, it was enough to buy them a little bit of time, and it is...
You wanna know what real cockiness is? Look at Nautilus's items.
Yep, it's gonna be full damage from them.
He has a Hex. He has a revolver on a Nautilus. I have never seen anybody build revolver on a Nautilus.
I mean, I think it's actually a pretty cool option because you have Bishi as the tank, and it's not like the enemy team, any E5, has all that many tanks. It's okay to go for that damage as well, and I think Hemi's creativity over there is gonna pull off it's gonna help him a little bit, but that cockiness, he didn't have the tankiness to do something like that. So, come on, Hemi.
I mean, at this point, it's not even cockiness. It's just like Hami's just like, I'm so far up ahead. Why not? Just like, why would I not do it? And with that, Kirk picks up his QSS. Poor Nightmare denied. Oh, he does manage to still get the red buff. And I mean, eventually, we all know where the game is heading, but we slowly and steadily get there. Bishi, Kakabai fans, Hammy, they're just sort of zoning them out. Nice hook lands onto Nightmare. He had no business being there. Gets punished. Zauraven, again, no business being there. Will die. Ace Lord runs away. Wonka takes in a lot of damage. Oh, that's a nice ulti coming in from Bishi. Ace Lord's dead. And I think it's game. Is it game?
I think it probably is game because with that Baron buff, they're gonna just push into the base and probably just take the last two towers and the Nexus as well. Now, NAD5, they're constantly engaging when their carries are not around. I feel that they need a little bit more awareness on where everybody is, and that's gonna be the flash engage or to act. But that's actually a beautiful cleanse and really quick fingers. He manages to survive. But is that going to be enough? I don't think so. Because Elixir is going to secure this game for themselves and put... Oh, what is this? Okay, the NAD5 has spawned, but no, Elixir secures the spot in finals.
And
very good.
Two very clean games, two very dominating performances coming on from the side of Elixir. And we have both our finalists. Finally, what are your thoughts, Apollonia? Let's look at graphs.
All right, I looked out my window and I saw Black Infinity, and he told me to show everybody his damage dealt. So, so Black Infinity is definitely, I would say, if I could name an MVP, it would be him. He was very impactful as a jungler, especially it's hard to make a mark in 5v5 when games are a lot more coordinated, but he managed to do that, and he's definitely a player that we all should look out for. We cannot forget Kirk with the most damage dealt, followed by Kaka. These two carries are very important for LXR. They were fed the resources, they roamed, they knew what they had to do. A very deserving win for Elixir. And GG well played to NAD5. They did try very, very hard, but they weren't successful now, but it's okay. There's always a next time they can try again. So guys, this marks the end of the second semifinals, and the finals will be streamed at 9 p.m. tonight. It will be Deimos Force versus Elixir. It's going to be a very hyped game because Deimos Force has a whole set of new play things, a lot of very new play style as well. Very exciting to see these two teams come up against each other. So do stay tuned. 9 p.m. on the Esports Club. Don't forget to subscribe. This is the South Asia Championship League powered by LG UltraGear. My name is Apollonia, and co-casting with me today was Obi. We'll see y'all soon tonight. Bye guys.
Good night, guys. Peace out.